So it goes through the point 5, -3. Right here. So now that's just the terminal side of alpha. I don't know if alpha is really going like this or if it's going like this. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It's going to probably be easier for us if we call this alpha. The ratios, trig ratios, would be the same regardless of where I drew alpha because it's always going to have this reference angle. Okay, so this is a right triangle. We always draw it to the x-axis. How far is it right here? 5, yeah, because I had to go to the right 5 to get to that point. And then how far is this? 3. And it's still negative because it's going down. That's why I called it -3. But you're right. How far is a distance question? So that's just really 3. And so the only thing I have to find really is that side. How can I find that side? Pythagorean theorem. So we'll call that R. So -3 squared plus 5 squared equals R squared. That's +9 plus 25 equals R squared. What's 9 plus 25?
32.
Close. 34, yeah. And how do I get rid of the squared? Square root. Now, if 34 broke down, I would need to break it down, but it doesn't. 2 will go into it 17 times, but I don't have any pairs. You know, with the square root, you have to take out a number that's times itself, and I don't have any of those. So it's just square root of 34. So here's angle A. I have the opposite side. Of course, R is the hypotenuse, and that makes 5 the adjacent. So now using all that, we can find the sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. Remember SOHCAHTOA. So that's helping us figure out what goes where. Cameron, what's the sine of alpha?
Sine of alpha. -3 over square root of 34.
That's right. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So that's -3 over the square root of 34. Jenna, what's the cosine of alpha?
5 over square root of 3.
That is right. Becca, what's the tangent of alpha?
-3 over 5.
Yeah. opposite over adjacent. Now remember which ones are reciprocals of which ones. Shelby was cosecant.
Yeah, that would be the square root of 34 over -3.
Yeah. Now usually we put the negative with the top, but if you put it with the bottom, it'd be fine. It's the reciprocal of sine. That's the one that should be flipped over. What about secant, KJ?
Is it -3 over 30? Square root 34?
That was sine. Is that what you said? And secant is the reciprocal of which one? It's cosine. So flip over.
Oh, square root 34 over 5.
And Tyler, cotangent.
5 over -3.
And again, doesn't matter where you put that negative. Top or bottom. Does that make sense? Okay. This is a very common thing. Trick stuff. Okay, same type of problem. This time, something else let me point. What quadrant is alpha in? 4. Right? Quadrant 4. And in quadrant 4, we said earlier that cosine is the one that's positive. So notice if you look, cosine's positive and it's reciprocal. The other ones are all negative. That's what should happen. All right. Now we're going to pass through the point -3, -2. -3, -2. Actually, I'm going to make this bigger. And remember, you always draw the triangle so that it goes up to the x-axis. Here's my angle. Call it alpha. So how much is this side that I've shown here, Justin?
Which one?
The green one.
-3.
-3. Good. This side of the triangle, Berkeley, would be how much?
-2.
Good. And so the only thing we're missing is that side. So just do Pythagorean theorem. There's a negative there, it's so small. I'll call that R again. So 4 plus 9 is R squared. R is the square root of 13. And it's always the positive one because the hypotenuse is always the positive, always positive. You don't have to worry about putting plus or minus there. So now that we know that's the square root of 13, I want you to write down sine, cosine, tangent, all of the 6 trig functions. Okay, Donna, what's the sine of alpha? Square root. Good. Is that like cosine?
-3 over square root of 13.
Tangent. Shelby?
-2 over -3.
Yeah, so it ends up being positive, right? Negative over a negative is a positive. Rebecca, cosecant. Whoa.
13 over -3.
Okay. Square root of 13.
Square root of 13.
Yep. Secant. Jose?
Square root of 13 over
Good. And cotangent, Justin?
3 over 2.
Good. Questions? I think we finished this question. Part A. It says, suppose that the sine of alpha is -3/5. So we're just trying to figure out again which quadrant it is. So don't forget, all students take calculus. So we know sine is negative, right? And it says tangent is less than 0. So tangent is negative. So you look and you figure out what you think, which quadrant has both sine and tangent negative. Could it be quadrant 1? No, they're all positive in quadrant 1, so it's for sure not that. Could it be quadrant 2? No, what's positive in 2? Sine. So it can't be that one. Could it be 3? No, tangent is negative in that one. Or tangent is negative, and it says tangent is positive in the third quadrant. So it must be quadrant 4. And we'll stop.